What would you do if one day you saw a missing child photo online, and the face in that photo turned out to be your own? Nathan Harper is a high school student living in the suburbs. On the surface, he seems just like any other teenager, but inside, he carries a restless and uncontrollable energy. Nathan often parties all night with his friends, drinking until he wakes up the next morning on the grass. Once, during a wild night, he even climbed onto the hood of a car, lying flat under the pounding music, shouting for his friend to drive faster, completely reckless and oblivious to danger. His adoptive father, Kevin, was deeply frustrated by Nathan's behavior. Believing the boy needed strict discipline, Kevin turned to boxing as a method to teach him self-control. But Nathan's short temper often got the better of him. During one training session, when Kevin scolded him for drinking too much, Nathan suddenly broke the rules. He lunged forward, grabbed his father, and kicked hard, knocking Kevin to the ground. That impulsive act made the tension between them even worse. These outbursts came from a recurring nightmare that haunted Nathan's mind. In his dream, a gentle woman approached him lovingly, only for the door to suddenly burst open. A masked man stormed in, restrained her, and murdered her right before his eyes. The terrified little boy hid under the bed, trembling helplessly. Worried for their son, Kevin and his wife Mara took Nathan to see Dr. Bennett, a compassionate therapist. Through her patience and guidance, Nathan slowly learned to manage his emotions and rein in his impulsiveness. Despite his rebellious streak, Nathan kept one secret close to his heart. He had a crush on Karen, the sweet girl next door who went to the same school. Unfortunately, Karen already had a boyfriend. Just one shared glance between them was enough to make the guy furious. He deliberately slammed into Nathan to provoke him, but Karen quickly pulled him away, preventing a fight. Later, Nathan happened to see Karen arguing with her boyfriend. When the guy insulted her, Nathan clenched his fists, barely holding back his anger. Then Dr. Bennett's words echoed in his mind, helping him stay calm. Though still upset, Nathan couldn't help but feel secretly happy when he found out that Karen had broken up with her boyfriend. At that time, the sociology teacher announced that each pair of students would have to complete a major project worth 75% of their final grade. Unexpectedly, Nathan was paired with Karen. That evening, Karen came over to Nathan's house to work on the project. The moment he saw her, Nathan nervously changed into a new shirt, tidied up his room, and even practiced poses in front of the mirror to regain confidence. Before they started, Karen teased him about that one time he got so drunk he ended up wearing nothing but his underwear, making Nathan so embarrassed he climbed onto the bed to hide. Seizing the moment, he casually mentioned her boyfriend, but Karen said they'd already broken up, which secretly made Nathan happy. Afterward, they chose their topic, missing children. Karen opened her laptop and showed Nathan a website that used facial reconstruction to simulate what missing kids might look like as adults. Suddenly, one photo froze Nathan in shock. The missing boy, named Stephen Price, had disappeared years ago, but the grown-up version on screen looked exactly like Nathan. Even the boy's old shirt had a familiar stain. Nathan froze as a memory hit him. He used to wear that same shirt as a child, and it was still stored in his basement. He brought the shirt over to Karen's house to investigate further. At first, Karen thought it was just a coincidence, but when Nathan showed her the exact stain, she began to take it seriously. Curious, Nathan clicked on a live chat link from the website. A stranger, posing as a woman named Marissa, started messaging them asking personal questions. While Nathan and Karen were still suspicious, the stranger had already activated a trace. Karen's laptop camera turned on remotely. The person on the other end could now see and hear them. The feed was immediately sent to a ruthless international spy named Kozlo. Back home, Nathan secretly looked through family photo albums. When his father asked what he was doing, Nathan lied, saying he needed the photos to replace a lost driver's license. Later, while going through the old pictures with his best friend, Nathan noticed something strange. Some of the photos had been digitally altered, as if someone had fabricated his childhood. Nathan brought the pictures and the old shirt upstairs and laid them on the bed. When his mother walked in, his voice trembled. "Mom, are you my real mother?" At first, she tried to avoid answering. But when Nathan asked again, Mara froze, then quietly shook her head. No. The confession shattered him. Nathan pressed her for answers, but Mara urged him to stay calm and wait for Kevin to come home. They would explain everything together. She hugged him tightly and whispered, "My love for you has never changed. You're everything to me." Then she walked out, breaking down in tears. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Two men in suits identified themselves as agents from the Youth Investigation Bureau, asking to see Nathan. Mara hesitated but tried to close the door. They forced it open, and chaos erupted. Mara suddenly revealed unexpected combat skills, single-handedly overpowering both men. She grabbed a pair of garden shears, stabbed one of them, threw him out the window, and smashed a flower pot over the other's head, shouting furiously, "Get the hell out of my house!" But before she could react, one of them drew a gun and fired 2 shots into her chest, killing her instantly before Nathan and Karen's eyes. Terrified, the two ran. Kevin arrived, snapping one attacker's neck in rage before dropping to his knees beside his dying wife. When he saw Nathan, he shouted for his son to run, but another bullet struck him down mid-sentence. Nathan was frozen in horror. In just moments, he had lost both parents. Panicking, he ran upstairs and leapt out the window to escape. But remembering Karen was still inside, he turned back. Just as the assassin aimed his gun at her, Nathan charged, delivering a powerful kick that knocked the man down. He kept striking until the man gasped out, "There's a bomb in the house." That round's enough. With no time left, Nathan grabbed Karen and pulled her outside. They dove into the pool just as the house exploded behind them. Nathan shielded her from the falling debris, risking his life to keep her safe. When the chaos settled, the two were alive, but everything Nathan had ever known was gone. His home, his family, his entire past, all reduced to ashes. Nathan took Karen to the hospital to treat her wounds, while Kozlo used fake biometric data to bypass security and smuggle his men into the U.S. to hunt Nathan down. While waiting, Nathan called 911 to report his parents' murder, but instead of an operator, a strange man's voice came through. "This is Burton, director of the CIA. I know who you are." Nathan immediately hung up. Danger was closing in from all sides. Kozlo's assassins had already tracked him to the hospital, and the CIA was monitoring him through security cameras. Just then, Dr. Bennett appeared. She looked Nathan straight in the eyes and said, "Your father entrusted me with your protection. Come with me." Nathan froze. He hadn't expected her to be part of the secret surrounding his identity. Bennett quickly led Nathan and Karen out, helping them escape. On the way, she revealed the truth. Kevin and Mara were not his biological parents. They had been assigned to protect him. His real father was Martin Price, a legendary CIA operative. "Now," she said, "only your father and a man named Paul can be trusted." She handed Nathan a key and an address to a safe house in Arlington, Virginia. Moments later, Bennett ordered them to jump from the car. The vehicle exploded soon after, and Nathan believed she had sacrificed herself. In the freezing forest, Nathan and Karen swam across an icy river, shivering uncontrollably. Spotting an abandoned campsite nearby, Nathan borrowed a thin blanket and returned to wrap it around Karen. He gently held her close, sharing his warmth until they both drifted into sleep amid the cold and darkness. The next morning, Nathan woke from a nightmare about his parents. Karen softly placed her hand on his cheek and whispered, "You don't have to say anything." His recessed. They resumed their journey, hitching a ride on a passing truck. When they arrived at the destination, Nathan found a backpack containing cash, a gun, a phone, and several photographs, one of which showed a woman named Lorna Price, his real mother. Karen used the phone to call home, unaware that both the CIA and Kozlo were tracing the signal. Following the address they'd been given, the two arrived at a cemetery where Nathan discovered Lorna's name engraved on a gravestone. He was devastated, realizing he had no one left in the world. Karen noticed that the flowers on the grave were still fresh. After asking around, they learned that a man named Paul Rasmus had placed them there and that he lived in Omaha, Nebraska. Determined, Nathan and Karen decided to find him by train. Aboard the train, they finally shared a moment of peace. Karen reminisced about a summer at the lake house. "Why didn't you invite me again after that?" Nathan smiled faintly. "I thought it was just a one-time thing." After all the danger they'd faced, the two shared their first kiss. But their calm didn't last long. Kozlo's men had caught up and secretly kidnapped Karen. When Nathan realized she hadn't returned, he went searching and soon confronted one of the assassins. Though overpowered at first, he remembered Kevin's boxing lessons and fought back fiercely. After a brutal struggle, Nathan defeated the man and threw him off the moving train. Karen managed to free herself as well, and the two embraced tightly, realizing there was no turning back. When the train made an emergency stop, they escaped into the forest only to be surrounded by Burton and a team of CIA agents. Burton invited them into a roadside diner, where he revealed the truth. Nathan's real father, Martin Price, had once stolen a list of 25 national traitors from Kozlo. That list was the reason Kevin and Mara were killed. After hearing everything, Nathan pulled out the phone he had found in the apartment. Inside was a file containing the list. He looked straight at Burton and asked, "Is your name on it?" Burton burst out laughing and said, "Give it to me, we'll take care of it." Suddenly, the diner's glass windows shattered. Koslow's assassins stormed in, taking out the CIA agents outside. Inside, chaos erupted. Nathan grabbed Karen's hand and pulled her toward the back door. They escaped through the alley. As they ran, Nathan's phone rang. It was Koslow. His cold voice threatened, "Bring me the list or I'll kill Karen's parents first." The game was clear. Now Koslow wanted to keep his power. Burton wanted to erase his name, and Nathan held the only key. Nathan chose a baseball stadium as the exchange point. On his way inside, he received a call from Martin. "Don't do it. He won't let you live." But Nathan was determined to face his destiny himself. Koslow arrived and sat beside him, demanding the list. Nathan tried to buy time, but Koslow was faster. He pulled out a gun. Then he started talking about Nathan's real parents. About Lorna, his mother, who had died a loyal woman, refusing to reveal Martin's location. Enraged, Nathan tried to draw his weapon, but Koslow blocked him first. Nathan fled, leading him into a chaotic chase through the stadium. Guided by another call from Martin, Nathan lured Koslow out to the parking lot. There, Koslow aimed his gun at Nathan's head. "You're not as good as your father," he sneered. At that very moment, a sniper bullet struck him down. The shooter was Martin. CIA agents swarmed the scene. Burton appeared, trying to seize the list, but his own superiors arrested him for treason. Nathan was finally free. Moments later, Martin called his son. "I'm sorry for everything you've been through," he said, "but it was the only way to protect you." Nathan's voice trembled. "Why won't you come out and see me?" Martin replied quietly, "I'm your father, but I was never a real dad. Live your own life now." From afar, Nathan caught a glimpse of his father's shadow disappearing into the crowd. Karen ran to him and wrapped her arms around him tightly. Dr. Bennett appeared soon after, offering to take care of him as his guardian. For the first time after all the chaos, Nathan finally felt hope. On the empty bleachers, Nathan and Karen sat side by side. He smiled softly and said, "Next time I'll take you to another game and that'll be our real date." Karen smiled back, and they shared a gentle kiss, closing a journey filled with blood, loss, and tears. Ahead of them was a new beginning, a future filled with peace and happiness. Thank you for watching until the end. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to share your thoughts and follow the channel to explore more emotional movie recaps together. See you next time.